Did you know at this very moment someone is on Amazon and Etsy actively looking for a quality coloring and activity book to add to their shopping cart? The only question is, will it be yours? Since you're listening to this podcast, hence the name of the show, it's pretty safe to assume that you have a keen interest in creating and selling your first or next coloring book. And it's for that reason I want to assure you you're in the right place. And I'd like to help you make it a reality by inviting you to check out the Coloring Book Creator Mentor Program, the first of its kind complete A to Z course that features live weekly coaching, resources, templates, and an extremely supportive online community, all designed to assure that you create a standout in-demand coloring book that you'll actually enjoy creating, promoting, and selling. Imagine the feeling of knowing somewhere in the world someone is adding your beautiful new book to their shopping cart, investing in a piece of your creativity. Enrollment is open and you can get started by going to coloringbookcreatorcourse.com. That's coloringbookcreatorcourse.com. You're listening to the Coloring Book Creator Podcast, Episode 7. And in this episode, I ask the question, what if it wasn't about the book? There's a saying in the entrepreneurial world that you don't become a millionaire because of the money. You become a millionaire because of who you become on the road to becoming a millionaire. Now that can sound like a bit of an oxymoron, doesn't it? When I self-published my first book back in the early 90s, the process, well, to say it simply, tested me. It tested my patience. It tested my bank account in ways that I couldn't have foreseen. And thank God, because if I knew all of the stresses and dramas that lay in wait for me before I published that book, I'm certain I wouldn't have done it. And my little book never would have seen the light of day. And even though at the time I swore I would never try to self-publish a book again, I've actually published 4 more since then, but I vowed I would never do it again, meaning the 4 books that followed would never have happened. But also, the other 4 books didn't cause me near as much stress as the first one did. You see, by that point, I had walked through the fire. I knew the pitfalls and the roadblocks that first book provided. So when I decided to do my second, my third, my fourth, and fifth books, it was all less traumatizing because I have the prior experience as a reference. We always feel like we can, quite bluntly, suck at something the first time we try it. Think about the first time behind the wheel of a car, the first time you applied for a job, had your first child, bought your first home, rented your first apartment. You didn't know how everything was going to turn out, but what you wanted was greater than your doubt about getting it, and that's what you've got to take action on. I mean, did you stumble? Did you make mistakes? Say, I wish I had known then what I know now? But here's the deal. You can never say that if you don't do something and then stay after it, especially when it gets challenging. Because once you know something, you can't unknow it. And that's how life works. So I want to invite you to ponder this statement as you work on publishing your first or your next coloring book. And I want you to take this into consideration too. What if it wasn't about the book, but who you will become as a result of producing your book? Think about it. Who do you want to become? Who do you want to inspire? How will your book inspire other colorists? How will it serve them? What will it help them achieve? Is it relaxation, enhanced creativity, peace? What is it? And finally, how will you feel about yourself knowing that your coloring book actually helped them achieve all of those things and more? I'll leave you with this saying I often to refer to on days when I feel like I'm talking into a void. Some will, some won't. Who cares? Someone's waiting. It's time to go to work. I have several resources I want to recommend to you to enhance this conversation and to help you think a little deeper about your action steps moving forward. One is called Good to Great by Jim Collins. I'll provide the link to this inside of the show notes. The other one is Self-Made, inspired by the life of Madam C.J. Walker. These are both great resources for you to check out. So with that said, I wish you nothing but success on your journey, whatever your creative project may be. And if you are thinking about or have an idea for a coloring book you'd like to explore, I'd like to invite you to join me inside of my Facebook group. The link is also available in the show notes. Also, there's a link for my masterclass on-demand training that you can watch at any time that you like. And the link to that is also available in the show notes below. So I hope to see you on the other side. Go after what you want. The world is waiting for what you have, and only you can do it. Take care.